Warm welcome to yet another discussion on GATE Electronics and Communication examination papers. Today we are going to check on GATE 2017 Set 2 paper, and in this video session we are primarily focused on network theory. So moving to the first question, in the circuit shown V is a sinusoidal voltage source. The current I is in phase with the voltage V. The ratio amplitude of voltage across the capacitor to the voltage to the amplitude of voltage across the resistor is right. So it is mentioned as current is in phase with the voltage. So for a series RLC circuit, the current will become in phase only at resonance. I repeat, current will become in phase with the voltage V only at resonance in a series RLC circuit. We can easily recollect the figure, that is frequency versus impedance and current. Current becomes maximum at resonant frequency, and similarly the impedance becomes minimum at the resonance frequency. Actually at resonance the impedance must be R only, right? So at the resonance the impedance is purely resistive, right? This is the resonant frequency, and this is the impedance curve, and this is the current curve. So it implies that current will become maximum at resonant frequency, and the value of impedance must be purely resistive. This is the value of actually the resistance, right? So moving to this question, so as it is resonance, we know that resonance capacitor voltage is Q times resistive voltage. So we have to calculate the amplitude of voltage across the capacitor to the resistor, that is VC by VR. That is merely Q, but Q equal to, in terms of RLC, for a series RLC circuit it is related as 1 by R root of L by C, right? So substituting it, 1 by R is 5, root of L by C, again 5 by 5, 1. So answer is 1 by 5 or equal to 0.2, right? So Q is 0.2 and the answer is 0.2. Moving to the next question, the switch in the circuit shown in the figure was open for a long time and is closed at t equal to 0. We have to find the current in amperes at t equal to 0.5 seconds. So for t less than 0, I am drawing the figure t less than 0. It is mentioned as open for a long time. That means steady state is attained. So 10 ampere, 5 ohm, and the switch was open. Again another 5 ohm. As steady state is attained, inductor is a short circuit. So in this path, initial current we can calculate. The initial current is 10 ampere into opposite branch resistance 5 divided by total resistance 5 plus 5, 10. So it turns out to be 5 ampere. So 5 ampere is the initial current flowing in the circuit. Now we can draw the steady state circuit for t greater than 0. Again, as steady state is attained, inductor behaves as a short circuit for t greater than 0 as t tending to infinity to, right? So 10 ampere, right? Next 5 ohm. Now the switch is closed, so a short circuit, and again another 5 ohm, and the inductor path is shorter. Now the final current, we can calculate the final current. I final becomes 0 as the whole current will pass through this short circuit, right? The whole current will pass through this short circuit and no current will enter in this arm, right? In this arm actually the inductor is there, and as t tending to infinity the inductor behaves as a short circuit. That's why I drawn like this. Now we can check the current expression, that is IL, inductor current, equal to I final minus I initial e raised to minus AT, right? Where A equal to 1 by time constant. Here it is a RL circuit, time constant is L by R, so inverse of it, that is R by L. R turns out to be 5 because in the discharging path, this is the discharging path, there is only a single resistance, that's why it is 5 divided by L is 2.5, so A equal to 2, right? Now we can substitute all the terms. I final current is 0, minus I final again 0, initial current is 5 ampere into e raised to minus 2t, right? That is 5 e raised to minus 2t. We have to calculate a t equal to 0.5 seconds. So IL at t equal to 0.5 seconds equal to 5 e raised to minus 1. So that turns out to be 1.839 ampere. 1.839 ampere current is actually the discharging current flowing in this path. From theory, we can recollect that inductor charging and discharging current remains in the same direction, right? So it is actually the discharging current flowing in this direction at t equal to 0.5 seconds. But at t equal to 0.5 seconds, 10 ampere current is also flowing in this direction, and similarly the discharging current 1.839 ampere current is flowing in this direction too, right? So the total current must be 10 minus 1.839. So that turns out to be 8.16 amperes, right? So the current flowing through this path is 8.16 amperes. Moving to the next 2-mark question, consider the circuit shown in the figure. We have to calculate the Thevenin equivalent resistance in ohm across PQ. For calculating Thevenin resistance, we have to deactivate the sources, deactivate the independent sources. That is correct. So, for deactivating a voltage source, we have to replace it by a short circuit. So, by replacing a short circuit, the 1 ohm resistance will not be in the circuit. So, now I am redrawing the figure. So, the redrawn figure looks like this, right? I have replaced the 1 ohm with a short circuit as we have deactivated the voltage source too. Now, as there is no independent source in this circuit, I have to apply a test 1 ampere current source to measure the Thevenin resistance, right? Now, Thevenin resistance RTH equal to the voltage across PQ divided by the current 1 ampere, right? Thevenin resistance is the resistance looking between the terminals, right? So resistance is nothing but it is the voltage by current. Now the voltage turns out to be the voltage across PQ divided by the current flowing. Current flowing is 1 ampere. So Thevenin resistance is voltage across PQ itself. So now we have to calculate the voltage across PQ. This is P and this is Q also, right? Now as the current flowing through this 1 ohm is I0 as marked in the question, and the current flowing through this path is 1 ampere, the current flowing through this 1 ohm is 1 minus I0, right? I have obtained it in this way. I0 is the current flowing downward and this is the current 1 ampere. So the net current flowing or the incoming current is 1 minus I0, right? 1 minus I0. That's why I marked it in this way. Now we can actually write the voltage expression, right? Voltage across PQ equal to voltage across this resistance. Fortunately, the voltage across this resistance is given as the dependent source, right? That is 3I0. That is the voltage across this 1 ohm plus voltage across this 1 ohm. Voltage across this 1 ohm is 1 minus I0, the current flowing into resistance. That is 1 itself. But voltage across PQ, right? Voltage across PQ is the current flowing through this 1 ohm is I0, right? I0 into that resistance, that is 1. So voltage across PQ is I0 itself, that is equal to 3I0 plus 1 minus I0. From that I can calculate I0. I0 equal to 2I0 minus 3I0, that is I0 equal to minus 1 ampere. As I0 equal to minus 1 ampere, voltage across PQ, right? Voltage across PQ equal to the current flowing. Current is now minus 1 ampere into resistance. Resistance is given as 1 ohm itself. So voltage across PQ is minus 1 volt. So now the Thevenin resistance is nothing but it is this minus 1 ohm itself, right? So the answer is minus 1 ohm. Now moving to the last question. A connection is made consisting of resistance A in series with a parallel combination of resistance B and C, right? The three resistors of value 10 ohm, 5 ohm and 2 ohm are provided. consider all possible permutations of the given resistors into the positions A, B, C and identify the configurations with the maximum possible overall resistance and also the ones with the minimum possible overall resistance. The ratio of maximum to minimum values of the resistances is, right? So in this question there are three resistance, 10 ohm, 5 ohm and 2 ohm. We have to calculate the maximum value of resistive connection and similarly the minimal value of resistive connection. We can alter any value of the resistance, that is we can alter Ra with Rb or Rc, but the condition is first of all we have to calculate the maximum net resistance between these 2 points and similarly next minimum resistance between these 2 points. For calculating the maximum resistance, this resistance Ra is in series with Rb and Rc, right? Suppose I am marking it as X and Y. We have to calculate actually the maximum resistance between X and Y. For obtaining the maximum resistance, this resistance 10 ohm must be in series with balance combination Rb with Rc, right? Rb parallel Rc, right? We know that the maximum resistance must be in series. Then only we can obtain the net resistance as maximum, right? So next, so the net resistance is 10 plus 5 parallel 2, that is the maximum resistance. That is 10 plus 5 into 2, 10 by 7, that is 80 by 7. 80 by 7 ohm is the maximum resistance. Now we have to calculate the minimum resistance, right? For calculating the minimum resistance value, now the series resistance must be minimum, right? That is, this must be 2. And now the balance 10 ohm and 5 ohm. Right. So now the total resistance is 2 plus 10 parallel 5. That is 2 plus 10 into 5, 50 by 15 equal to 15 into 2, 30. 30 plus 50 is 80. 80 by 15. That is the minimum resistance. Now going to the final answer, maximum to minimum value of resistance must be, maximum is 80 by 7 divided by 80 by 15 or into 15 by 80. So the answer is 15 by 7. 15 by 7 is equal to 2.14. So 2.14 is the final answer. 2.14. So for more video tutorials on gate electronics and communication and electrical related papers, subscribe my channel. So I am signing out till we meet again with another gate paper. Thank you.